Thousands of years ago, terrifying creatures emerged from a place known only as the Black Abyss. These monstrous beings flooded into the world, leaving devastation and chaos in their wake. Humanity stood on the brink of extinction, powerless against the overwhelming threat. But just as the final light of hope was fading, something miraculous happened. Ancient and mysterious structures, soon known as monuments, appeared across the land. No one knew where they came from, but they radiated divine energy and offered humanity a final chance to survive. These sacred monuments unlocked incredible abilities in those who touched them. People began to awaken new powers, sorted into different classes that granted them unique skills and strengths. Ordinary civilians transformed into formidable fighters, each gifted with the potential to turn the tide of the war. With these newfound powers, humanity mounted a bold counterattack. Wave after wave, battle after battle, humans began to adapt. They trained, fought, and evolved, growing stronger with each clash. The monsters that once seemed unstoppable were no longer invincible. Through perseverance and relentless determination, humanity pushed back the abyssal horde. The path to survival had been carved through courage, unity, and the power granted by the monuments. In time, humanity succeeded in forcing the monstrous invaders back into the Black Abyss, reclaiming their homeland from the edge of total ruin. But the battle was only part of the war. To ensure the next generation would be ready, cities began selecting gifted high school students each year, giving them the chance to awaken near the sacred monuments. These young individuals represented the future line of defense against the lingering threats of the abyss. Even with past victories, the danger is far from gone. The Black Abyss continues to churn with foul, predatory creatures, its depths teeming with menace. The threat hasn't disappeared. It merely waits, hidden beyond the shadows, biding its time for another chance to strike. And now, the 53rd Awakening Ceremony is underway at the Monument Branch in Linchin City. Students from across the region have gathered beneath the massive stone structure, nerves and anticipation hanging thick in the air. Each one stands ready to discover their destiny. As the instructor steps forward and declares the ceremony open, he begins explaining the process. The monument will reveal a class to each student, an ability linked to the talents buried deep within them. Whether their path lies in combat or support, every role is vital. Every student, regardless of classification, is expected to serve and protect their nation. The weight of the country's future now rests on their shoulders. After 18 years of learning and preparation, this is their defining moment. At last, it's their turn to awaken. Some students hope to be chosen as warriors, eager to join the Union and live a life of relative stability and good pay. One of them jokes, chuckling that becoming a warrior isn't exactly a walk in the park. At their school, only half the students manage to awaken with a combat class, making that dream a risky bet at best. While most of the students are buzzing with anticipation, some can't help but laugh at Lin Tianhao, who's still asleep despite the big day. He's infamous for his poor grades and lackluster performance, and many view him as someone with no potential whatsoever. Jokes fly around that if he ended up with a class related to sewage or beasts, it would be nothing short of a miracle. Eventually, Lin makes his way toward the platform, quietly thinking about what kind of class fate has in store for him. Ranked dead last in his school, just getting to this point feels like an achievement in itself. One of his classmates, half teasing, asks what class he hopes to awaken. Without hesitation, Tianhao replies that he dreams of unlocking an S-tier talent or even a rare, hidden class. His words hang in the air. The students around him burst out laughing. They scoff at the idea, mocking his ambition with sneers and sarcasm. After all, they remind him, his evaluation scores were rock bottom. He barely scraped by with a C grade, and even that was generous. They can't believe someone like him dares to dream so high. As Lin glances down at his personal stats, he can't deny the obvious: they're pitifully low in every category. According to the system, he's practically worthless. But even with all the odds stacked against him, Lin Tianhao refuses to back down. His eyes reflect a quiet determination. Why can't someone like me rise from the ashes? He wonders. If time travel exists in stories, then who's to say miracles don't happen, too? No matter how small the chance, he clings to hope. He wants to awaken with power and prove them all wrong. The ceremony moves on, and now it's time for students from Class 2 of Linchin City's first school to take the stage. The first name is called Wang Dong. He walks up with confidence, every step brimming with pride, while Lin remains at the back, watching in silence. Just before reaching the platform, Wang Dong shoots a cold glance back at Lin Tianhao. His eyes are full of contempt. With a sneer, he silently vows to crush any comparison between them by awakening to a powerful class right in front of him. The instructor steps forward and begins explaining the awakening procedure. He informs the students that the process typically takes around 5 seconds. During that time, it's normal to feel some discomfort, but they must remain composed and let the monument do its work. Wang Dong approaches the monument confidently and places his hand on its surface. A powerful surge of energy bursts from the ancient stone, golden light swirling around his body like a vortex. The brilliant glow intensifies, surrounding him in a radiant aura. In that moment, his awakening is complete. He can feel it, the holy light rushing through every fiber of his being. The result is clear. Wang Dong has awakened as a warrior. A victorious roar escapes him as the news is confirmed. His talent is ranked at sea level, not top tier, but respectable. Among the general population, a C rank is still considered a solid foundation for growth. The instructor advises him to report to the city's union headquarters, where he'll begin formal training for his new role. Wang Dong nods gratefully, thanking the officials before stepping aside to accept his assignment. From the crowd, excited voices break out, especially from a group of girls impressed by his performance. They cheer his success and shower him with praise, calling his class choice dependable and admirable. Some flirt playfully, envious of the stable life and status that come with being a warrior. Wang Dong soaks in the admiration, proudly showing off his newly acquired class badge, fully enjoying the attention. As the crowd buzzes around him, he suddenly glances at Lin Tianhao and smirks. Pretending to just now notice him, Wang Dong mocks him with a theatrical gasp. "Oh, I didn't even see you there," he says sarcastically, loud enough for everyone to hear. Then, with a sneer, he launches into his usual routine, publicly belittling Tianhao and calling him a hopeless loser. Lin doesn't react. He stands quietly, keeping his emotions in check, though inside, he's all too familiar with this treatment. Wang Dong has always singled him out. And now that he's a warrior, it might only get worse. Just as Lin turns to walk away, a group of Wang's followers steps in to block his path. With smug expressions, they accuse him of disrespect, claiming he bumped into their big brother and demanding he apologize. They mock his silence, taunting him with smug grins and sarcastic jeers, trying to get a rise out of him. But Lin Tianhao doesn't take the bait. Even as they laugh in his face, Wang Dong raises a hand, smirking, and declares that he'll let Tianhao off the hook for now. As the group moves on, Tianhao stands still, his thoughts turning inward. If someone like Wang Dong could awaken as a warrior, he wonders, then what does destiny have planned for me? With quiet determination, Lin Tianhao begins walking toward the ceremony platform. Around him, whispers erupt like wildfire. There goes the class loser. Bet he won't even get a usable class. Can't compare to Wang Dong. Their words sting, but he keeps his gaze fixed ahead. The announcer calls out his name. Tianhao steps forward. He lifts his hand and responds calmly, though he can feel dozens of eyes drilling into him, curious, mocking, doubtful. Approaching the monument, he breathes deeply, his mind racing with hope. Anything, just something that gives me a chance. Whether it's a combat class, a mage path, or even support, he doesn't care anymore. He just wants to prove he's not worthless. As he nears the stone, he quietly whispers a single word to himself, one filled with silent desperation. Please. Then, with a steady breath, he presses his hand against the monument. A crackle of lightning sparks across the stone's surface. The energy begins to swirl, and a powerful current surges from the monument straight into him. Suddenly, boom. A blinding burst of golden light explodes outward, engulfing the entire platform. The impact shakes the ground beneath his feet. Tianhao's body is bathed in radiant energy. He stares at the light surrounding him in awe, barely able to process what's happening. Could this be it? He thinks. Is this the moment my life finally begins to change? Gasps echo across the field. The audience watches, stunned. Even the instructors, calm and collected a moment ago, now wear looks of confusion and concern. Something's clearly different. One of the announcers steps forward, eyes wide but voice steady. Lin Tianhao, she says, the monument has spoken. Your class is about to be revealed. A moment later, the result appears. Class, Summoner. For a heartbeat, silence grips the crowd. Then, laughter erupts like thunder. The crowd doesn't hold back. Mocking voices ring out from every direction. They call the Summoner class a waste, a bottom-tier pick with poor returns and absurd upkeep costs. Some even snicker that getting stuck with a life class would have been better. Then, suddenly, a soft chime cuts through the noise. A mechanical voice echoes. Awakening detected, hidden class trait initializing. A glowing interface materializes before Lin Tianhao's eyes, unseen by the others. Words flash across it like something out of a dream. Abyss Lord System activated. The system explains itself calmly, as if this were routine. By linking with the Abyss Lord, Tianhao can unlock a random SSS-level Abyss talent every 10 levels. He stands frozen, eyes wide. Did I really just get a system? And not just any system, one that hands out SSS-tier talents. His mind races. 10 levels per reward. That means by level 100, he could possess up to 10 of the rarest, most powerful talents in existence. The possibilities are staggering. Back on the platform, unaware of the life-changing system unfolding in Tianhao's head, a staff member steps forward and hands him a special registration card. It's used to track awakenings and monitor class growth. Then the instructor speaks again, his tone more serious this time. Lin Tianhao, you're now entering SSS-level talent extraction. The crowd goes quiet. Tianhao's heart skips a beat. SSS level? Just then, the system delivers its first reward. Congratulations! You've acquired the SSS level talent, Demon Sacrifice. His breath catches. The system explains, Demon Sacrifice allows him to permanently give up a portion of his maximum HP to instantly level up and demonize his summons, infusing them with hellish strength far beyond their limits. Tianhao blinks, absorbing the risk. Permanent HP loss, that's dangerous. But then a thought hits him. As a summoner, I'm not the one doing the fighting. If his summons grow strong enough to protect him, and with future gear to increase his HP pool, the trade-off suddenly seems worth it. The interface details the effect. Sacrificing 100 GP grants 1 level to a summon. With a current max of 1000 GP, Tianhao starts to do the math. He decides to use 900 GP right away, leaving just enough to stay standing. That's enough to push his first summon instantly to level 9. A grin tugs at the corner of his mouth. Let them laugh now. The power he's just discovered is exhilarating, but Tianhao knows he can't be reckless. It's a gift that demands strategy and patience. From the side, his instructor approaches with a gentle tone. She offers encouragement, reminding him that just because a class seems underwhelming doesn't mean it lacks value. Everyone walks a different path, she says, and some victories come from the most unexpected roles. Tianhao nods with quiet conviction. Thank you, he replies. I believe I can still make something of this. She smiles warmly, but deep in her heart, She's unsure. Belief is one thing, surviving with that class is another. As the awakening ceremony wraps up, the buzz of conversation picks up again and the insults return. Students snicker as he passes. Summoner, might as well quit now. Total waste of an awakening. He doesn't respond. With steady steps, Tianhao walks through the crowd, letting their words wash over him. Their laughter cuts, but he stays silent. Because deep within, a fire has ignited. I'll show them, he thinks. I'll rise above them all, and one day, I'll be the summoner who stands at the peak of the world. Later that evening, Tianhao returns home. The front door swings open, and a young voice calls out, "Brother." His little sister runs toward him, eyes wide with excitement. "What class did you get? Tell me, tell me." He hesitates just a second before replying, "Summoner." She freezes for a moment, recognition flashing in her eyes. "Isn't that the one people always say is useless?" He nods once. "Yeah, that's the one." There's a pause, but then she flashes him a grin. "Well, don't worry," she says brightly. "Next year, when it's my turn to awaken, I'll become a super powerful mage. Then I'll protect you." Tianhao chuckles softly, his expression gentle. He looks at her for a long moment, this small, hopeful soul who doesn't yet understand how cruel the world can be. But somehow, her words lift the weight on his shoulders, if only a little. Tianhao ruffles his little sister's hair with a teasing grin. "Don't stress," he says, puffing out his chest dramatically. "Your big brother's a powerful summoner now. You just worry about staying out of trouble." She pouts instantly. "You're teasing me again," she complains, crossing her arms in protest. As he heads for the door, her voice follows him down the hall. "You always treat me like a kid." Just then, his phone buzzes in his pocket. A new message. It's an announcement: students who received combat-related classes are being called to a special orientation session. Tianhao reads it over, but doesn't give it much thought. "I'll deal with that later," he tells himself. The school instructor later gathers the class to review the awakening results. 5 of you have awakened as combatants, he says. 8 as mages. 11 were assigned support roles. He pauses, then glances toward Tianhao. "And 1 summoner, Lin Tianhao." Snickers ripple through the students. Wang Dong and his usual crew are quick to seize the moment. "That's it, Tianhao," one jeers. "Might as well give up now." "Yeah, you're basically done," Wang Dong adds with a cruel smile. "Enjoy that summoner life while it lasts." Tianhao says nothing, but the fire in his chest flares again. Later, as the crowd disperses, the teacher quietly approaches him. "I know your situation is different," he says, reaching into his satchel. He pulls out an old, dust-covered book and hands it over. "This is all we have on summoners. It might help, even if just a little." Tianhao chuckles awkwardly as he wipes the dust off the cover. The book looks like it hasn't been touched in years. "If you run into any trouble," the teacher adds, "you can always come to me. Just, please don't embarrass me too badly out there." Tianhao gives a small, grateful nod. Outside, the training field is buzzing with energy. Students from every class-type, warriors, mages, supporters gather for their first evaluations. The instructor raises his voice, calling for attention. "All right, we're beginning the class talent test." Excitement ripples through the crowd. A confident student steps forward first, gripping a wooden staff. He takes position, breathes deeply, and slams the staff down with everything he's got. A number flashes, 73 points. "Not bad at all," the instructor calls out. "Solid start. Keep pushing, you've got potential." Applause follows. The other students murmur in admiration as the test continues. Wang Dong was next. With a confident, powerful swing, he smashed the target cleanly, and the scoreboard lit up with an impressive 89 points. The teacher nodded approvingly, hinting that Wang Dong might just be the top of the entire class. Then it was Tianhao's turn. He stepped forward with quiet determination, his eyes fixed on the strange summoning device before him. Though he had never actually practiced summoning, he recalled some of the basic techniques from the dusty book his teacher had given him. Realizing he had no other option, Tianhao decided to put everything he had into it. He began chanting the incantation, steady and clear. As he spoke, energy began to swirl violently around him, creating a powerful aura that shocked everyone watching. The teacher's expression shifted to one of alarm, while the other students instinctively backed away, unsure of what was unfolding. The energy intensified, rising higher and higher, and everyone waited with bated breath to see what Tianhao would summon. Then, to everyone's disbelief, a small, cheerful blue slime appeared, bouncing happily in the summoning circle. Tianhao stared blankly at the adorable creature he had just brought forth. The crowd burst into laughter, mocking him mercilessly. How could such a cute little slime possibly survive in battle, much less defeat monsters? Tianhao himself was stunned and uncertain, wondering if this harmless-looking creature was truly his summon. When the slime's stats were displayed level 1, 500 GP, 9 attack power, with simple skills like corrosive slime and slime spit and no equipment, Tianhao's frustration deepened. 9 attack power was barely anything, hardly enough to be taken seriously. Just then, the teacher called everyone's attention, telling them to check the talent scoreboard, signaling that something unexpected was about to happen. The scoreboard lit up, revealing a disappointing 9 points. The teacher announced the result with an awkward tone, while the surrounding crowd stared in disbelief. Though it was a humiliating moment for Tianhao, the teacher tried to encourage him, saying that scoring 9 was still better than nothing. But the students nearby couldn't hold back their laughter, mocking him mercilessly. Determined not to let this define him, Tianhao turned to the teacher and asked for another chance. This time, he was ready to unveil his secret weapon, an extraordinary SSS-level ability called Demon Sacrifice. His plan was to use it to power up his sluggish slime and prove his worth. As he prepared, a system prompt blinked on his screen, "Offer Demon Sacrifice." Without hesitation, Tianhao accepted and chose to sacrifice 200 of his own HP to boost his summon. The crowd continued their jeers, convinced that no matter what, Tianhao's efforts would be futile. But then, as his HP dropped from 1,000 to 800, a dark, fiery aura began to swirl fiercely around the slime. The creature writhed in agony, consumed by an eerie, crimson energy. Everyone watching was frozen, stunned by the unexpected spectacle. Even Wang Dong, who had been so confident earlier, found himself speechless, eyes wide with shock. Suddenly, the slime's form exploded with raw power, transforming into something monstrous and terrifying, a blood-red demonized version of itself. The stats flashed before Tianhao's eyes: level 3, HP now at 1200, and attack power soaring to 120. It had even gained a new, deadly skill called Demonic Dance. Tianhao's voice rang out clearly: "Attack!" Without hesitation, the demonized slime charged forward at lightning speed. When it struck the target, the ground shook violently, shockwaves rippling through the arena. The scoreboard flashed again, this time with an incredible 120 points. For a moment, the crowd was silent, stunned beyond belief. Then whispers rippled through the air. "No way, he scored higher than Big Brother Dong." Tianhao stood calm and steady as the numbers shone brightly behind him, proving that despite all odds, he was far from a loser. The crowd's shock was palpable. Lin Tianhao had just crushed everyone's scores. Murmurs spread through the audience, disbelief coloring their voices. No way! He actually beat Big Brother Dong? Even the instructor struggled to conceal his surprise. Meanwhile, Wang Dong's jaw clenched tight in frustration, unwilling to accept that Tianhao had outperformed him. He recalled tales of a legendary figure who barely scored 101 points, yet here was Tianhao, smashing that record with a staggering 120. Whispers quickly turned into accusations. "There's no way he didn't cheat," someone demanded, puzzled by the sudden leap from a measly 9 points to an astonishing 120. In his mind, Tianhao knew the truth. Yes, he had manipulated things, but only through his own skills, not through any tampering with the machine itself. The teacher, listening to the rising doubts, admitted the crowd's suspicions made sense. The doubt hung heavy in the air until Tianhao stepped forward, voice steady and clear. "Teacher, I didn't cheat." Without hesitation, he walked alongside the instructor toward the testing machine, his demon slime trailing behind him. The teacher scrutinized the machine with furrowed brows, deep in thought, before making a bold declaration. Lin Tianhao hadn't cheated, the machine itself had malfunctioned. Wang Dong scoffed silently, refusing to believe Tianhao could surpass him fairly. Another student demanded the invalidation of Tianhao's high score, insisting that the original 9 points should stand. Voices rose in protest, clamoring that Tianhao's performance was illegitimate. The teacher raised his hand to silence the crowd and explained that due to damage to the machine, the current results were void. He announced a retest would be necessary for Tianhao and the remaining students. Catching Tianhao off guard, why was he being given another shot? The crowd erupted in complaints, accusing the instructor of favoritism, insisting that Tianhao's first dismal 9-point score should be final. Yet the teacher's authority prevailed, postponing the testing for all until the machine was fixed. Tension rippled as one student clenched his fist in frustration while another whispered uneasily. Wang Dong wasted no time, confronting Tianhao directly with a sneer. "You'll always be trash. You can't just get strong out of nowhere. Dream on." With a dismissive wave, Wang Dong rallied his group and stormed off toward the first level of the Black Abyss. Tianhao quietly reflected on the Black Abyss, a beginner's dungeon, the perfect place to truly test the might of his demonized slime. As Wang Dong and his crew confidently disappeared, the staff moved to inspect the damaged testing machine. A technician peered closely, wondering if the surge of power that caused the malfunction might have come from a new prodigy in their midst. As Lin Tianhao stepped away from the testing grounds, he nearly bumped into an old man standing quietly by the school gates. Without warning, the man began praising him, telling Tianhao he saw tremendous potential in him as a summoner. The words felt strangely familiar to Lin, but he nodded politely, unsure what to make of the compliment. Then, the old man reached into his satchel and pulled out a finely crafted summoner's staff, claiming it was a top-tier weapon meant just for Tianhao. He said it was worth hundreds of gold coins, but was offering it to him for only 300. Lin's eyes widened, shocked at the price. "It's just a stick," he protested, accusing the man of trying to swindle him. But the old man smiled knowingly and insisted this staff was special, something he'd never sell for even 3,000 coins to anyone else. Curiosity got the better of Tianhao, so he took the staff in his hands. Almost immediately, he felt a powerful energy humming through it, confirming the old man's claim. Realizing that quality summoner gear was rare and valuable, Lin decided it was worth the price. When he asked to buy it, the man firmly stated, 300 gold coins. Tianhao's heart sank. He checked his pouch and saw he had only 92 coins, far less than what was asked. Panicking, he begged for a discount, offering all he had as a deposit. To his surprise, the old man accepted the 92 coins, but said it was just a down payment, adding with a mysterious smile, "This is fate." The man then handed Tianhao a small paper slip and told him that if he wanted the staff, he'd have to retrieve a treasure from the Black Abyss. "You'll understand everything once you reach the deepest part of the maze," he said cryptically. Lin sighed in frustration, thinking to himself, "Great, I just got handed an NPC-style side quest." But deep down, he knew this was the chance he needed, even if it meant venturing into the dangerous abyss. Lin Tianhao hesitated as the old man pressed him to place his handprint on the IU, finalizing the deal with a firm push. With no way to back out, Tianhao reluctantly stamped the paper, feeling a heavy weight settle over him as the agreement was sealed. The old man's cheerful reminder of the terms fell on Tianhao's silent regret, who walked away, his thoughts dark and conflicted. Just then, a voice called out to the old lady, addressing her as Elder Fang. A teacher approached, explaining that the test had been halted due to a machine failure. He then asked if he knew Lin Tianhao. Elder Fang nodded, confirming that Tianhao was from his class. His expression softened with concern as he spoke of the difficult road ahead for a summoner like him, a path fraught with challenges. Yet, despite the warning in his words, he offered a gentle smile. Meanwhile, Lin Tianhao arrived at the imposing gates of the Cold Valley Abyss, the entryway to the first level of the Black Abyss. He studied the towering portal, noting the rules. This area required a team of 3 to 5 players, each meeting certain level restrictions. The realization hit him he couldn't enter alone. Pulling up the Cold Valley Abyss clearance rankings on the screen nearby, Tianhao saw the name Fang Chengyun at the top. The system explained that monthly rewards were granted to top rankers, and the prize for first place was the coveted gold newbie breastplate offering 30% armor and a 120 GP boost. That HP increase matched his own max HP, instantly making Tianhao set his sights on claiming the top spot. Just as he was taking in the information, a group of familiar faces sneered from behind. "Only 9 points? What are you doing here?" they mocked, recognizing him instantly. Tianhao frowned, muttering under his breath, "Them again?" The group continued their taunts, questioning why a summoner would dare enter the Black Abyss and telling him to leave. Unfazed, Tianhao shot back, "None of your business." The group laughed, reminding everyone that entry required at least 3 members. Boisterously, the group began advertising themselves to nearby players. Their lineup featured a C-level warrior and 2 E-level mages, boasting loudly of their strength. The mention of a C-rank warrior drew a crowd of hopeful players eager to join a strong team. Fire mages and priests shouted offers of cold resistance buffs, vying to be selected. The C-rank warrior arrogantly picked his teammates, basking in the praise from his allies who hailed him as unbeatable. They confidently declared their goal to claim first place in this dungeon run. Nearby, another group caught wind of the ranking challenge and hurriedly prepared to compete. Soon, multiple teams crowded the portal, ready to enter the Black Abyss. Then, suddenly, the atmosphere shifted as bones and a skull shot out from the swirling portal, landing among the stunned crowd. Everyone froze, eyes wide with shock, an ominous sign that the abyss was more dangerous than anyone had expected. The crowd stood frozen, the sudden appearance of bones and a skull from the portal, sparking a chilling realization someone had just died inside the Black Abyss. The terrifying truth hit them hard. It could have been any of them. The leader of the group glared at his teammates, issuing a grim warning that falling behind meant death, silencing the weaker members instantly. Fueled by a mix of fear and excitement, the team charged into the swirling rift, eager to face whatever dangers awaited. Lin Tianhao remained on the sidelines, watching quietly as the group disappeared into the abyss. Calmly, he predicted that at least 2 of them were marching straight to their doom. He knew all too well that while resurrection was possible, it came at a staggering cost. Survival, therefore, was the wisest choice. At that moment, Lin Tianhao's identity became clear to some nearby players. He was a level 1 summoner, blessed with a rare and coveted level talent. A few curious players briefly considered inviting him to join their ranks, only to withdraw the offer when they realized he was a summoner. Despite his obvious potential, the stigma of his class was enough to make others avoid him, seeing him as a liability rather than an asset. Surveying the crowd, Tianhao's gaze landed on a quiet girl clutching a harp. Her name was Lai Zhu, a level 1 bard with E-rank talent, a rank too low to provide any meaningful support in battle. From her weary expression, he guessed she had been waiting for a team for days, just like him. Ignoring her low stats, Tianhao took a step forward and politely asked if she'd consider teaming up. Lai Zhu's eyes widened in surprise when she learned about Tianhao's level summoner status. Still, hesitation flickered across her face as she contemplated the offer. He flashes a confident smile and reaches out his hand, explaining honestly that no one else wants to team up with a summoner like him. Lai Zhu, hesitant at first, can't help but accept after all. it would be foolish to turn down a chance to team up with such a good-looking ally. Together, they officially form their small team. Lin introduces himself warmly, and Lai Zhu shyly returns the gesture, sealing their partnership with a gentle handshake. Lin reassures her that he'll take care of all the monster fighting, asking her to simply focus on staying safe. She blushes deeply at his kindness, promising to do her best not to slow him down. Now, with 2 members, they begin searching for one more to complete their party. Noticing Lai Zhu nearby, several adventurers rush over, eager to join just to be close to her, affectionately calling her goddess. Just then, Su Kinger, the school's renowned beauty and a powerful druid with a rank talent, makes a striking entrance, instantly capturing everyone's attention. Lin Chanhao's eyes widen in surprise. He recognizes her from school, but never expected to see her here. Su Kinger spots Lin too, her expression clouded by the memory of his loser reputation and her shock at his summoner class choice. She hesitates, worried that teaming up with a trash-class summoner might damage her image. Lin is left puzzled by her sudden reluctance. Then, unexpectedly, Su Kinger announces she wants to join their team, stunning everyone with her bold decision. Lin, equally stunned, asks if she really means him. The crowd explodes with jealousy and disbelief. Without hesitation, Su Kinger confirms it's him she wants, taking his hands firmly in hers, an audacious move that leaves the onlookers even more shocked. The crowd erupts in outrage, furious that the school goddess would align herself with someone they all dismiss as weak. Lin can only stand there, wondering why he's being blamed for something she forced upon him. With icy composure, Su Kinger dismisses the other students clamoring to join her team, stating clearly that she already has a group and telling them to back off. Then, turning to Lin and Lai Zhu, she declares it's time to enter the Black Abyss, leaving Lai Zhu taken aback by her bluntness. Just before stepping through the portal, Lin asks Su Kinger why she chose to join their team. She reveals her real reason. She needs 2 specific accessories to compete for the ranking, and if she can lead them to first place, the others will stop looking down on her. Lin and Lai Zhu exchange stunned glances as Su Kinger coldly refers to them as accessories, a label that leaves them speechless and quietly offended. Impatiently, she snaps at them to hurry up and follow her into the Black Abyss, pushing the trio forward into the dangerous unknown. Lin suddenly realizes their party is just the 3 of them, 2 women and himself, and can't help but wonder if that's really enough. Su Kinger cuts through the doubt, bluntly stating that no one else is worth bringing along. If things get too dangerous, they can retreat and leave the fight to her. Lai Zhu nervously nods in agreement, clearly relying on Su Kinger's confidence. Together, they step into the cold valley abyss. Almost immediately, Su Kinger and Lin both shiver as the biting cold seeps through even their warm clothing. Lin notes just how much harsher the cold is compared to what they'd prepared for. It feels like their gear offers no real protection here. Lai Zhu suddenly speaks up, revealing that she knows a basic cold resistance buff that could help them withstand the brutal chill. Without hesitation, she lifts her harp and begins to play. A warm, golden aura spreads around the team, wrapping them in a comforting shield of heat. Feeling the effect, Su Kinger acknowledges Lai Zhu's value, and Lin allows himself a small smile of approval. With the cold resistance buff active, the group pushes forward, delving deeper into the shadowy cold valley abyss. Unbeknownst to them, glowing red eyes watch silently from the forest's dark edges. Lin narrows his gaze as a twisted, corrupted black wolf steps into view. Its stats flash before him: 400 GP, a plague skill, and a grotesquely warped form. Lin confirms it's one of the low-level monsters native to this dungeon, a corrupted wandering wolf. Su Kinger's eyes gleam with excitement at the sight, declaring it the perfect moment to put her skills to the test. Suddenly, a crackling energy sparks around her as she activates her power. She shifts into her beast form Civet Cat, her body glowing with vibrant blue energy. Lin watches in awe, recognizing the transformation as a half-beast state tied to her druid abilities. With breathtaking speed, she darts forward, leaving a trail of energy in her wake. Claws extended, she lunges at the corrupted wolf and slashes fiercely, landing a powerful blow that tears through the creature's twisted hide. Damage numbers explode in the air above the wolf, first -98, then -152, and finally -281, showcasing the heavy, escalating impact of her strikes. Lin Tianhao notices that Su Qing'er's attacks inflict a bleeding effect on the corrupted wolves, while Lai Zhu watches in awe at the druid's impressive strength. Suddenly, a reward window pops up, showing that wolf skins and fangs can be sold for gold coins. Su Qing'er gratefully turns to Lai Zhu, thanking her for the cold resistance buff and offering to share the loot, saying she hates owing others favors. However, Lai Zhu shyly declines, flustered by the gesture and insisting it's unnecessary. After dispatching the pack, the group moves onward. Lin Tianhao quietly glances back, noticing Lai Zhu and Su Qing'er resting on the fallen wolf's corpse. But up ahead, several more corrupted wolves emerge. Without hesitation, Su Qing'er springs forward in her beast form, claws gleaming with a glowing light, ready to strike first. In a blur of swift, radiant slashes, she cuts through the wolf pack with deadly precision. Though she manages to handle 3 wolves at once, she sustains a few injuries. Silently, she pushes herself onward, determined to claim first place no matter the cost. Lai Zhu, noticing the wounds, offers to cast a low-level healing spell out of concern. But Su Qing'er waves it off, explaining that the spell wouldn't be very effective and she needs to save her mana. Instead, she pulls out a potion and snaps its seal open. Drinking the glowing green liquid, she is instantly enveloped in a gentle aura of healing energy, her wounds beginning to close. Lin Tianhao offers Lai Zhu an encouraging smile as they press deeper into the freezing valley. Suddenly, Lai Zhu senses something unusual and looks up. A glowing purple magic circle materializes above them. Su Qing'er immediately tenses, muttering a curse under her breath. Without warning, a massive shadow crashes down with overwhelming force, slamming into the ground so violently it sends Su Qing'er flying backward. The source of this brutal attack is revealed a level 4 corrupted zombie, born from the remains of undead wolves. Su Qing'er panics, realizing she's suddenly facing an elite monster she wasn't prepared to handle. Lai Zhu trembles beside her, shocked that such a powerful foe lurks in this area. Meanwhile, Lin Tianhao suspects the elite's appearance is linked to the many corrupted wolves Su Qing'er has already slain. The elite zombie lunges forward with incredible speed and raw power, catching Su Qing'er completely off guard. Though she tries to react, the monster's swiftness is overwhelming. It slams its massive weapon into the ground, sending a shockwave rippling through the terrain and flinging sharp ice shards in all directions. The force knocks Su Qing'er unconscious, leaving her badly wounded and completely immobile. Lai Zhu panics, her voice trembling as she begs Lin Tianhao to save their fallen teammate. The elite zombie raises its weapon high, ready to deliver a crushing final blow. Finally snapping into action, Lin Tianhao clenches his fist and shouts a fierce command, "Summon Demon Slime." With a sudden burst, a wave of red slime erupts from the ground. His fierce partner, the demon slime, materializes, its wicked grin promising destruction. The system displays its stats, level 3, boasting 1,200 GP and powerful skills like corrosive slime and demonic dance. Without hesitation, Lin Tianhao orders his slime to launch the demonic dance. In a flash, a blazing red arc sweeps violently through the air, striking the elite zombie with devastating force. The monstrous foe swings its huge hammer downward again, smashing the ground with an explosive crash, but this time it misses entirely. The zombie looks up, surprised and confused. Its attack landed on nothing but cold stone. Lin Tianhao smirks and taunts, "Maybe next time, you should check if your strike actually hit." Seeing Su Qing'er gravely injured, Lin Tianhao calmly tells Lai Zhu to take her to the treatment zone while assuring her that he'll deal with the elite zombie on his own. Lai Zu nods and hurriedly carries Su Qinger away. The corrupted elite zombie roars in fury, charging forward with its massive hammer raised high. But Lin Tianhao remains unfazed, commanding his slime to unleash the slime spit attack. The demon slime's grin twisted into something even more sinister as it prepared to strike. With a sudden burst, it lunged from behind Lin Tianhao, splashing down with an intimidating presence. Its form bubbled and shifted, splitting into a swarm of smaller slime projectiles, each wearing that same wicked smile. The elite zombie charged forward, but the slime was quicker. It intercepted the monster's path with relentless speed, piercing its body from multiple angles. The assault was fierce and unyielding. Lin Tianhao called out, "Unleash Dance of the Demon." The zombie writhed as the corrosive slime began eating away at its flesh, but Lin noticed something crucial: it was only dealing half the damage expected. The creature's tough defense was blunting their attacks. Lin started weighing other strategies. The zombie screamed in agony, the corrosive slime eating through its insides. That's when it clicked for Lin: the slime's unique power was melting its enemy from the inside out. The zombie swung its massive hammer in desperation, trying to crush the slime. Seeing brute force wasn't enough, Lin sharpened his focus. He swiftly ordered the slime to combine its Dance of the Demon with the strongest corrosive slime attack. With pinpoint accuracy, the slime struck the zombie's ankle, the corrosive acid burning deep through the flesh. The zombie roared in pain, eyes wide with shock as the damage rapidly spread. Unable to keep its footing, the corrupted elite staggered and collapsed to the ground, defeated. Meanwhile, Lai Zu softly played her harp, weaving a healing spell over the unconscious Su Qinger. Though slowly recovering, Su Qinger was still fragile and barely stable. Lin Tianhao stood steady beside his slime, awestruck by the effectiveness of their coordinated assault. But deep down, he knew the battle wasn't finished, yet he had discovered the zombie's weak spot. Its lower body was far more vulnerable than the upper half. Without hesitation, Lin Tianhao commands the demon slime to strike again, this time focusing all its corrosive power on the zombie's weakened lower body. The slime wraps around the monster's legs and torso, relentlessly melting away the flesh and bone beneath its grasp. The elite zombie thrashes violently but is quickly overwhelmed. Its massive hammer dissolves into goo along with its body as the slime finishes its ruthless work. A system notification flashes: Elite Zombie slain, exp gained, 500. Loot acquired, corpse hammer, wolf hides, fangs. Another message pops up: Level up. Lin Tianhao advanced from level 1 to level 2. Lin wonders if the massive exp was due to taking down a high-level elite monster alone. Lai Zu, eyes wide with admiration, murmurs, "Summoners must be incredibly powerful." Su Qinger scoffs lightly, correcting her. "No, it's not summoners in general, it's Lin Tianhao. He's the one who's strong." She pauses, acknowledging, defeating an elite monster solo shows how sharp his intellect and tactical skill really are. Lin approaches Su Qinger, checking her injuries with concern. "It's just a minor wound," he says calmly, supporting her gently. "Nothing to worry about." Lai Zu admits sheepishly, "My healing chant was too slow. We should take a break." Su Qinger, stubborn and fiercely competitive, shakes her head. "We can't rest now, not when we're fighting for first place on the leaderboard." Despite the pain, she rises defiantly, ready to push forward. Lin watches her with quiet admiration but firmly reminds her, "Risking your life for rankings is foolish." After a moment, she sighs and finally agrees to rest. He pulls up the map, locating a nearby cave suitable for shelter. As dusk settles, the trio arrives at the cave's mouth. Inside, Su Qinger and Lai Zu prepare for sleep. Lin volunteers to keep watch outside. Lai Zu pulls the blanket up to her chin, whispering tiredly, "I've overused my magic, I'm exhausted. I need to rest." Su Qinger watches Lai Zu fall asleep almost instantly and mutters with a small smile, "She always falls asleep way too fast." Lin Tianhao leans against the cold cave wall outside, silent and alert, his thoughts turning toward the challenges ahead. Lin Tianhao glances over at Su Qinger, resting under her blanket, and gently tells her, "You should get some rest too. I'll keep watch outside." Just as he turns to leave the cave's dim warmth, Su Qinger suddenly calls out softly, causing him to pause. Her cheeks flush a faint pink as she murmurs, "Thanks for saving me earlier. It's not like I'm the type to forget a favor." Her voice carries a rare hint of sincerity beneath her usual sharpness. Lin Tianhao stands there, slightly caught off guard by the unexpected gratitude. Su Qinger, clearly embarrassed, quickly buries herself deeper under the blanket and mutters, "I'm going to sleep now, so just forget I said anything." Lin can't help but chuckle quietly to himself near the flickering fire. Despite her sharp tongue and haughty attitude, Su Qinger's heart is genuine underneath it all. As Su Qinger peeks out briefly from beneath her blanket, Lin Tianhao walks deeper into the icy cave, muttering to himself, "Level 3 already. Not bad." He pulls up his updated stats on the system screen floating before him. A broad grin spreads across his face as he notices his attributes have all increased. One skill stands out, fully armed, a powerful buff that significantly boosts his summoned creature's stats. He activates the skill, and a magical glow surrounds him, bathing the area in a soft red light. Lin admires the effect, thinking, "This basically amplifies the demon slime's power a great boost." He checks his current HP, now at 1200, and quickly calculates, "I can level my demon slime up to level 4 now." But he also realizes that pushing his HP cap even higher will require a different strategy. Tapping the screen, he selects the option to sacrifice 400 GP with the command, "Convert." The demon slime pulses with energy, glowing brightly as it transforms. Its stats jump significantly, and new skills unlock before Lin's eyes. Reviewing the results, Lin Tianhao notes the slime's overall power has improved dramatically. Among the new skills is one called Split, which piques his curiosity. He taps again, wondering aloud, "I wonder if this cloned skill makes a real difference or if it's just a copy." Grinning confidently, Lin Tianhao turns to his demon slime and says, "All right, show me what this new skill can do." With a thunderous thud, the ground beneath the demon slime cracks and trembles. Energy surges violently through its gelatinous body, pressure building to an intense peak. Suddenly, a massive spike shoots up from the slime's core, shaking the cave floor with raw power. Lin Tianhao narrows his eyes, pointing decisively ahead. Demon Slime, use the skill Split. The demon slime glows fiercely, its body shimmering as it begins to split apart. The transformation completes with a burst of light, and now two identical demon slimes stand side by side, both grinning wickedly. Lin crosses his arms, carefully watching the stat screen. The data confirms the changes. HP is halved, agility noticeably increased, but defense has taken a hit. The timer above one slime's head reads ominously, 3 o'clock. Lin stares at the countdown in disbelief. Only 3 minutes? What kind of damage can they do in such a short time? Before he can ponder further, a sudden shout catches him off guard. They're in danger. Lin dashes toward the cave's interior, his heart pounding. Inside, a dark monstrous shadow with glowing red eyes towers threateningly over Su Qinger and Lai Zhu. "Demon slime, slime spit now," Lin commands sharply. The slime shoots a sharp, acidic projectile at the beast. It hits, but the damage is barely a scratch, only 25 points. Lin blinks, shocked by the underwhelming effect. The stat window flickers up, revealing the monster's details. Level 8, high agility, strong attack power identified as a terrifying humanoid snow rabbit from the deep ice abyss. Su Qinger and Lai Zhu visibly tremble, their faces pale as they grasp the sheer disparity in strength. Su Qinger's voice shakes. "Level 8, we're way outmatched." Lai Zhu adds softly, "A 6-level difference." There's no way we can win. The snow beast snarls, a feral roar shaking the cave walls, then lunges forward at Lin Tianhao and the demon slime. Su Qinger gasps, panic in her eyes. Be careful, it's coming right for you. Despite the looming threat, Lin remains calm, brushing off the danger like it's a minor annoyance. The demon slimes respond instantly, launching a furious burst of multiple slime projectiles at the charging beast, their acidic attacks splattering and sizzling against its thick fur and skin. The snow beast barrels forward at full speed, muscles coiling like springs ready to snap. The demon slime's acidic projectiles explode in a burst of red goo all around the charging monster, sizzling against stone and fur alike. But the beast's momentum is relentless. Some slime attacks miss entirely, splattering uselessly against the cave walls. The demon slime plants itself firmly, bracing for the inevitable. The snow beast's massive paw swings in a heavy, brutal punch. One of the slime's attacks grazes the beast mid-air, a splash of corrosive red hitting its flank, but it barely slows the creature down. With terrifying speed, the beast closes the distance, its fists swinging like a battering ram. The demon slime's eyes widen in a flicker of fear as the powerful blow connects, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. The cave momentarily floods with the red glow of multiple slime projectiles striking the monster, but the damage isn't enough to stagger it. Lin Tianhao's voice cuts sharply through the tension. Fall back, switch tactics, use your special skills. The slime instantly obeys, launching a follow-up move. Its body radiates red energy as it spreads a corrosive field across the cave floor. The glowing red slime energy oozes and bubbles, a trap set for the charging beast. But the snow beast moves with effortless grace, leaping clear of the spreading corrosive energy like it weighs nothing at all. Lin mutters under his breath, frustration flickering across his face. How is it so fast? Su Qinger steps forward, her expression grim. That's no ordinary beast. It's a predator from the deep ice abyss, infamous for wiping out entire teams before they even realize what's happening. Lai Zhu shivers, voice barely a whisper. But why is it attacking us? We haven't even stepped into its territory. Lin Tianhao frowns, eyes narrowing. Something's wrong. This isn't a random attack. Lin Tianhao watches carefully, heart pounding as Su King dashes toward the cliffside, the snow beast thundering behind her. The ground trembles under the monster's heavy steps, the air thick with tension. Su King, in her beast form, twists and weaves expertly, keeping just ahead of the furious charge. Lin takes a deep breath, eyes locked on the trap. He sets several jagged ice spikes he'd magically reinforced along the cliff edge, hidden beneath a thin layer of snow. The beast's massive weight and speed will give no chance to slow down once it reaches the edge. As Su King approaches the cliff, she glances back briefly, shouting, "Now, Lin." Lin Tianhao immediately commands his demon slimes to strike with slime spit aimed precisely at the snow beneath the beast's feet. The acidic slime eats into the frozen ground, rapidly melting a patch of ice that looks solid at first. The snow beast charges forward, claws extended, eyes blazing. Suddenly, the ground beneath it cracks wide open, ice shattering and collapsing into a deep crevice. The beast stumbles, its momentum unstoppable as it falls toward the jagged spikes below. A terrifying roar echoes as the snow beast crashes against the ice spikes, its body pierced and battered. Lin Tianhao watches, heart pounding, as the elite monster writhes in agony, trapped and severely injured. Su King leaps down from the cliff, landing beside Lin and the demon slimes. Lai Zhu catches up, still clutching her bag of supplies, wide-eyed. Lin Tianhao exhales sharply. This should finish it. Demon slime, finish with demonic dance ready. The two slimes split and spin into a furious red blur, their blades of acidic energy cutting through the wounded snow beast. With a final roar, the monster collapses, defeated. A system notification pops up. Elite snow beast slain, exp gained, loot obtained, Frostfang Claw, Frozen Hide. Lin Tianhao glances at Su King and Lai Zhu, a small smile playing on his lips. Teamwork wins battles. Let's keep moving, there's still a long way to go. Su King nods, wiping a trickle of blood from her lip, but smiling faintly. Lai Zhu breathes a sigh of relief, clutching her harp tightly. That was too close. Lin Tianhao feels the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders, but also the quiet thrill of leading his team through the dangerous abyss. The cave grows colder, darker, but the team moves forward, stronger for the trial they just survived. Lin Tianhao stands over the snow beast's fallen body, still feeling the adrenaline from the battle coursing through him. The red residue on his hands, the remnants of demon slime's corrosive attacks, shimmers faintly in the cave's cold light. He wipes it off thoughtfully, eyes narrowing as he reviews the fight in his mind. The demon slime's crowd control and split attacks are great for handling groups, but when it comes to a single powerful enemy, its damage isn't enough, he murmurs, analyzing the slime's limitations. We'll have to adapt our tactics for future encounters. Su Kinger, catching her breath, glares at him playfully. You seriously used me as bait. I was practically a lure for that giant rabbit. Lin laughs, proud and unapologetic. Well, you're the fastest of us all, and the only one agile enough to pull it off. Couldn't have done it without you. Kinger blushes furiously, crossing her arms but clearly pleased by the compliment. She then shoots a glare at Lai Zhu. And you, bringing carrots into a deadly dungeon? Really? Lai Zhu shrugs shyly, holding up her supply bag. I only meant to bring some food. You never know when you might need it. Lin's eyes catch the bright orange carrots peeking out of Lai Zhu's bag. A spark lights in his mind. He slowly smiles, the idea forming. Defeating the giant snow rabbit gave us the most exp so far, Lin begins, sharing his thoughts with the team. It's the best target if we want to level up quickly. If we can lure more of those rabbits using carrots like last time, we can rack up experience fast. Lai Zhu bites her lip nervously. But we barely survived one. Doing that again sounds risky. Lin places a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Last time, we were the prey. This time, we'll be the hunters. We know their behavior now. We can control the battlefield better. Su Kinger nods firmly. It's faster, and if we want to rank up to level 4 before facing the dungeon boss, this is the way. The group exchanges determined glances, unified in purpose. Lin pulls up the system display showing current levels, Su Kinger and Lai Zhu at level 2, and himself at level 3. We'll need to take down 5 more of those snow rabbits to hit level 4. Let's plan carefully and make every fight count. The cave's cold shadows seem less daunting now, as the team huddles to strategize, ready to turn the tables in the deep ice abyss. The team's patience pays off as they carefully place a bright orange carrot just outside the cave entrance. The cold wind swirls, and soon the distinctive silhouette of a snow rabbit appears on the ridge. The beast's glowing red eyes flicker as it sniffs the air, then cautiously steps toward the bait. Slowly, deliberately, it approaches the carrot and just like before, it falls right into their carefully laid trap. Hidden behind rocks and icy outcrops, Lin Tianhao, Su Kinger, and Lai Zhu watch silently, holding their breaths. When the rabbit finally takes the bait, the group shares a quiet but victorious glance. Then, with a coordinated burst of energy, the 3 leap out from their hiding spots, launching a combined ambush that catches the beast completely off guard. The battle is fierce but controlled. With Lin's commands and Demon Slime's powerful attacks, paired with Su Kinger's swift strikes and Lai Zhu's timely healing, the snow rabbit is overwhelmed. Their teamwork improves with every fight. 3 hours later, the team stands together, their breaths visible in the freezing air as the system notification confirms their hard-earned progress. Lin Tianhao has reached level 5, while Su Kinger and Lai Zhu have each climbed to level 4. Lin checks the system timer, surprised to see that only 5 hours have passed since they entered the Cold Valley Abyss. Lai Zhu, excited and wide-eyed, remarks on how fast their progress has been, especially compared to the top-ranked player Fang Chengyun, who took 8 hours to clear the same area. Su Qinger smirks, a spark of competitive fire in her eyes. Don't get too comfortable. The boss isn't just going to lie down and die for us. Lin nods thoughtfully. Right. The boss is a zombie leader who commands undead wolves. The fight won't be complicated, but it will be long and grueling. Based on our current strength, it could take around 2 hours. Lai Zhu, slightly confused, asks, "So what's our next step?" Lin looks around at his exhausted teammates. "We rest and prepare first. Half an hour of recovery should do. We'll need all our strength for what's coming." As the team settles down, Lin quietly glances at his system. His talent skill, Demon Sacrifice, activates unexpectedly, and he watches as his HP drops from 1100 to 800, a painful cost for a surge in power. He frowns, realizing the HP gained per level is diminishing and that his current growth won't last forever. A new strategy will be necessary once they escape the abyss. Meanwhile, his demon slime levels up to 9. Although its stats increase slightly, HP, attack, agility, and defense, no new skills unlock. Lin sighs quietly, hoping the upcoming boss battle won't be beyond their reach. Suddenly, a thunderous bam echoes sharply through the cave's mouth, making everyone freeze instantly. Lin Tianhao, Lai Zhu, and Su Qinger snap to attention and rush toward the noise. Outside, the sky suddenly brightens as a dazzling light cascades across the cold landscape. Hovering majestically above the icy cliffs is a creature out of legend, a unicorn, its coat shimmering like freshly fallen snow, its mane glowing with ethereal light. Lin's eyes widen in disbelief as a system window pops up in front of him. Cold Valley Abyss Hidden Boss appeared. Level 10 Unicorn Skills, Purifying Song, Dropping Meteor, Radiant Charge, Special Trait, Territory Purifier purges corruption and undead in its domain. Lin swallows hard, beads of sweat forming on his brow. This is no ordinary foe. This rare, noble beast far surpasses the zombie leader's stats and skills. Encountering a hidden boss of this caliber is incredibly rare, almost a miracle. Despite the awe and the luck, Lin's mind races with the gravity of the situation. This will be the ultimate challenge of the Cold Valley Abyss. The true test of their strength and teamwork is about to begin. The radiant unicorn stands tall, its divine aura shimmering with otherworldly light. Lin Tianhao's gaze locks onto the beast's piercing blue eyes, and for a moment, he is utterly captivated. Purple hypnotic patterns swirl hypnotically within his own eyes as he murmurs in awe, a dazed smile spreading across his face. Without realizing it, Lin Tianhao begins to walk forward straight toward the cliff's edge. Demon Slime, sensing the danger, leaps up and headbutts Lin hard in the stomach. The sharp, sudden pain snaps Lin out of the trance just in time. Wincing and clutching his side, he turns sharply, glaring at his slime companion. "What the hell are you doing?" Before Lin can react further, he notices Su Qinger and Lai Zhu nearby, both walking slowly toward the cliff's edge with glazed, glowing eyes. Their lips move in a synchronized whisper, "So beautiful." Panic surges through Lin as the girls, mesmerized and unaware, continue edging closer to the deadly drop. Without hesitation, he lunges forward, grabbing both by the arms and pulling them back just in time, aided by Demon Slime's quick movements. Safe again near the cave wall, the group catches their breath. Su Qinger shakes her head, voice tense. "That glowing creature, it's the Cold Valley Abyss's hidden boss, the unicorn." Lai Zhu furrows her brow, confused. "But what about the zombie leader? We were told that was the final boss." Su Qinger's expression hardens. "The unicorn appeared because we hunted too many snow rabbits. Those kills triggered it. The wolves and zombies weren't truly alive, they're puppets, so they didn't provoke this response." Lai Zu's voice trembles. We were supposed to just follow the path, fight the monsters along the way, and kill the zombie leader to pass the level. Now this is way beyond what we expected. Our chances of survival just dropped drastically. Tears glisten in her eyes as she chokes out. Maybe we should run. I don't want to die here. Lin Tianhao's gaze sharpens, voice firm. We've killed too many snow rabbits. We're targets now. Running isn't an option. Lai Zu lowers her head, guilt washing over her as she admits softly, "It's my fault. I brought the carrots. If we'd just stuck to the path and focused on zombies, none of this would have happened." Lin shakes his head and steps closer, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Thanks to you, we have a shot at clearing this level faster than anyone else. Don't blame yourself. When this hidden boss comes for us, I won't let anyone on this team get hurt. I promise." Su Kinger crosses her arms, teasing lightly. "It's just a unicorn. After all, I'm not scared." Lin Tianhao shoots her a sharp look. "Don't slow me down once the fight starts." Lai Zu smiles faintly, grateful. "Thanks for standing by me." Suddenly, a powerful cry rips through the air. The unicorn has spotted them. Lin shouts, "Get ready. We've been detected." The team snaps into formation, weapons ready. Demon slime oozes forward, shifting and glowing in battle stance. The unicorn lowers its head, horn gleaming with radiant energy. It charges up a skill-charging thorn and lunges forward with blinding speed, aimed straight at the group. The attack slams into the ground just before them, explosive energy ripping through the cliff face and showering the area with debris. The unicorn leaps high into the air, its body radiating with pure light, ready to strike again.